Now it's time to see if that mentality can remain resolute throughout the whole series, because Morning Stars, we've seen what they've done all season. At times it's been a lot of tanks, but they've shown a great amount of flexibility, and Jaws called him out as well a little bit. That's a lie. It's Legday saying it.
Say about Casper. Yeah.
My boy. Ultimate flexibility, plays a lot of heroes, and we get to see him really kind of flex on them kids at different times throughout this series. I'm hoping we get to see more of it today as well.
Angry Titans taking down one of the Robot Masters already in the form of Windstrike, and for their efforts, they have picked themselves up the power of May, and they're then able to implement that.
The Devourers now, are they?
They're able to implement it. No, just like your boy Mega Man, they're going in there, stealing a power, and implementing it into the next battle. That May coming up into Mecha Base is going to be very powerful, as it was against the pioneers of it yesterday.
It's going to be a very interesting attempt for Morning Stars to shut this one down, because teams have been wildly unsuccessful with dealing with May, purely because of how flexible she can be. But I said with Angry Titans yesterday, Only God versus Kenzie, I still gave it over to Kenzie, but the team as a cohesive unit was a lot stronger. If Morning Stars can capitalize on that minor weakness in the team, this could be theirs.
First fight looking to happen. We've already seen Legday attempt to move Malzahsa into the team and potentially get an isolation. Might not need to use it because Lolstish has already picked up that first frag. Urki onto Leaf. It's mirror kills everywhere. Afox making the pattern stay true. Angry Titans taking over the first fight, and they will get first cap.
They will indeed. That's that one pick onto the main tank. That's normally the way it goes in these 3-3 or GOAT compositions. You bring down the main tank. There's no shield left to protect your members. They're pretty exposed to the elements, and in this case that element is Ice Cold May with the freezing, bringing them down, and a very easy first fight.
Nice divide and conquer coming into play, but they were not able to capitalize fully because a lot of attention got put onto Only God. He just had to ice block. He couldn't get any damage out from range. Now everyone's going to translate over to the point. And of course, you've got Lolstish holding up the front line, the high ground advantage for Morning Stars. They're waiting for cooldowns before they go in. They've dropped down, and they're going to be isolated by the wall. Dragon Lady going very low, but he's going to escape from the damage. Leaf, not so lucky. Elivote there to take him off, and Only God just going to hit the panic button, turn into an Icicle, get all that HP back, and then move back into the fight. Exo-Wrap, saved last second by that barrier, but he's not going to get away because the rest of the team is dead. Angry Titans retain control, and they're starting to get ultimates online.
Absolutely they are, and as we've already seen what can happen when that Blizzard comes up, Windstrike using it very defensively yesterday. Bit of a change from what we saw from them before, where it was more of a Graviton surge into the Blizzard to ensure there was no hope of survival for the other side. You drop that Blizzard behind the Graviton that either faced with a team of 6 or they've got to deal with the Blizzard. Which one do you take? Both suck.
That was very smart there by Urki to give the information over to Only God on which wall he needed to place and isolate the team. And you're right, Des, they caught one off guard and they have a man advantage. 5v6. It's Ryan's isolated. They're not going to go for the team. They can give control over because they know they're going to win the fight.
They
and
didn't
jump
even give it
straight back over. Malzahsa going to go down. Only God taking over to Leaf. And you're right, Des, they retain control. No delay in this capture to 100%. We got 75%. Maybe 1 or 2 fights left in this. Morning Stars know that. That's why they reset.
It's a real tough one for Morning Stars here, because every single time they've tried to push through, got to give it to Oni. These walls have been on point, always catching out at least one person. The best one you can catch as well is the main tank. You can see Brigitte off to the right-hand side again with that intel gathering. This is what you need to see from teams yesterday who messed us up a few times. They've got it almost perfectly down this time.
But they're going to isolate off members. They can't do it at the choke, but they can still find Dragon Eddie. And the grab goes down immediately after the D-Mech knows they cannot consume it. The Snow Globe is there. They've been waiting to pull off this combo the entire time. And a sound barrier is not enough to save this team. Dragon Eddie and Malzahsa going down with their ult still online, but it's going to be Angry Titans taking round 1.
Pretty decisive first round. Now, I don't want to say this is how the rest of the series will go, because again, teams have always struggled to deal with May on that first point. This next point is what is really going to set the tone for the series to me, especially if we see these two teams come head-to-head on the GOAT setup.
I imagine they'll move away from the May in this particular matchup. We don't see it played a lot. I think only Windstrike has dared do it on this map, and a lot of other teams, they resolve to go back to a default composition, even though they might pull out the May on the Mecha base.
Just the teams don't really have a lot of chance to practice against it, because for most of this season it's only been Windstrike playing it, and if you haven't had time to scrim them or get any playtime in against them, well, how are you meant to prep for it? You just got to watch VODs and hope for the best and theorize, and then when the team puts their own spin on it, you are in trouble. But we get our wishes, or my wish more specifically, Tridd. We are going to see that GOATs versus GOATs setup. This is where you're going to really get to test the mettle of both of these teams against each other and get the comparison for how the rest of the series will go.
Malzahsa took a bit of damage there on his way in, probably from a Fire Strike, I believe, or some right clicks from Zarya.
Yep. Oh, right click from the Zen, probably.
Maybe that as well.
Oh, Leaf.
Tell you who's not getting right click, it's Leaf. He gets a rocket flail to the head. Casper going to answer back onto Urki. So both teams without Brigitte. And now Morning Stars are missing more than that. A D-Mech, a Malzahsa, an Exo-Wrap being removed from the field. Another dominant first engagement for Angry Titans.
So you're picking up Brigitte, you think it's just a support, it's not a huge deal, but the biggest problem with losing the Brigitte is you lose that huge heal that she offers in the form of her E. She gets that down into a tank who's about to get melted down. That's a huge health boost. It's going to keep you alive for considerably longer and can often upset a team if they're maybe Yozari's at the end of her charge, for example, or the right click's all out from the Zen. Him going down very early on, especially Leaf, who's a very aggressive Brigitte as well, they lose that edge to the team that really gives Morningstars the chance to shine.
Not only that, of course, you've got the passive healing when you're hitting enemies with your flail. That can add up overall as AoE. Lolstitch with the shatter, beautifully placed around the back line of Morningstars, and they have no response to it. Dragon Eddie going to get staggered out a little bit longer. They'll take Leaf off the board, and he's trying to go for a reset, but I think they won that ult charge from him.
That was like playing peekaboo with a child.
He's still not dead yet.
They knew exactly where Lulcich was the whole time, and as soon as he goes behind the pillar, they ignore him and turn around. He steps out to the other side, shatters the whole team for free. Their attention not really being given over to Lulcich, which can cost them here, because shatters like that, it leads to team wipes, as you've just seen, with only one ultimate contributed.
I'm not quite sure how Orion Heart can stand behind that pillar and not go noticed. It is a little bit bizarre, but there's a lot going on in Overwatch. You can forgive for a slight lack of attention in that particular element. Only God. Got the Graviton online, and Elivote is about to get his self-destruct, so there is a potent combination online for Angry Titans. They just need to find the right implementation. Casper going down low. Malzasa has an Earth Shatter, but he's under pressure. I think the team knows he's about to get it online. They put it into the corner, going to plant it straight into the ground. No one affected, and the Angry Titans going to roll through Morningstars. I'm going to get used to saying that eventually, Des, but it's been the story of this game so far.
It was really impressive from Angry Titans there as well, because essentially Morningstars dropped onto the low ground and Angry Titans formed a convex around. They surrounded them on all sides. Even when Malzasa was spinning around trying to find more than one target to shatter, there was no one really in range where he could catch at least two people. So he ended up dropping it down into the shield of Lulcich, and while Angry Titans were like, well, your shatter's down, this one's for us to take.
Ult's coming on board for Angry Titans. They're only missing the rally, but everyone's got the benefit from that already. The world is their oyster. They throw the Graviton, the Transcendence to answer, the self-destruct is there, and the shatter comes out slightly afterwards. And now here comes the sound barriers. The only ult still left on the board. Dragon Eddie's mech, and his self-destruct. He's going to launch that in. His Elevote's already done his, and they're going to trade it off. Dragon Eddie dropping it down. No one to be found. Only God has to do it without ultimates. He's sitting at 100 charge, and it tears through the robotic body of Exo-Raph, and he translates back onto the point. Someone's getting drum control. He's been demeched. No, this is my drum, Elivote shout as he knocks him off the point, knocks everyone off the point. No one's left to contest apart from the Hammond, and that's all she wrote. Morningstars taking Busan.
Really good focus that whole round by Angry Titans as well. Leaf almost guaranteed to be the first person to die in most of those fights, unless you were between Angry Titans and Leaf, in which case you often went down first, and that's a really good target identification. Leaf has been one of the most aggressive Brigitte players we have seen all season. Charging onto Zens in the back line, opening everything up, and the team tend to win from the back of that. Angry Titans are saying, you don't even get the chance to do that. We're shutting you down before you even get to go aggressive. You're playing the game our way, and the way we play is to win.
Very dominant start. It is reminiscent almost of our first series of the day, and I'm hoping we start to deviate from that pattern because, quite frankly, this could or should go the distance. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring you map number 2. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders. We're about to jump into our second map of the second series of our day. We saw a dominant start, of course, with 1 point versus Giganti. Giganti taking that, going to the final tomorrow, and it's looking more of the same to begin with a dominant 2-0 stomp by Angry Titans on Busan.
Very dominant. In the first round, we did say we can kind of forgive that one to Morning Stars. It's May. Teams can't really adapt very well to that. No team has so far, it feels.
No, Angry Titans did, because they just played May.
That's what I mean. They did it fine. They've learned. They've adopted it. Rather than trying, if you can't beat them, you join them, right? And they've joined them and they've started playing May. Either way, it was a very clean, clinical 2-0 for Angry Titans. And if that was anything to suggest, the rest of the series will be a 3-0. But now we move off of Control, sometimes one of the wilder maps that we tend to see in series. We go into Hollywood, and I'm pretty sure Morning Stars will have at least a fight to show in this round.
Absolutely. They're going to be jumping onto the offense first this time around. Angry Titans out on the defense. So we're going to have a better idea of what they're playing, as of course they have longer to travel from their spawn room, and so far so good. Des looking pretty standard. We're moving in with the goats.
Pretty much what you sort of expect. I say sort of expect because I almost think Morning Stars will be looking to change things up a little bit here as well. They did just go in that head-to-head goats and couldn't win a single fight against Angry Titans, and that's concerning for me because Morning Stars are bread and butter a goats team. But we've seen them flex a lot throughout the season. Again, you've got Casper on side who has played so many different DPS throughout the season. Now's the time to really show what you're made of, I feel. It's time to shine, my dude.
Now Zasa might be looking to shine on the Wrecking Ball. He's going to roll out with that to begin with, possibly to scout and then fall back and immediately retreats.
Probably
knows that he's not going to have some fun against that one. Back to the traditional Ryan. I'm sure Dragon Eddie will not stay on this, and he's going to switch over to the Diva. It's going to be a mirror matchup heading on to Hollywood.
Want to get that scout in there, and it's always the story of things like Hollywood is you have a solid 4 minutes to attack, and they can't really change comp. Lawsish almost being clapped out the gate.
But he's got the support there to keep him alive, and this is where Morning Stars need to press on the attack. They've taken away key territory from Angry Titans. You can no longer hold that choke. They have to aggress onto the point, and Lawsish being isolated again. Elivote finds Casper. That was not what I was expecting to happen there based on the HP bars. Elivote again onto Malzasser. It's only Exoraf fragging out on the return. They're all pinned in this corner. The kills are just being traded out. Only God, he's at 100 energy, and the tracking is good. Luddy there with the drive-by to secure the kill. First fight going over to Titans.
No, only God's basically guaranteed himself an ult there. Not that Elivote already hadn't, of course, and AFAT's got to give it to him. Almost every single kill that came through in that fight, assist central for this guy, and got that trans online. Extrath has got his. Kind of worth mentioning, actually, we do have two very big fragging Zenyatta players in this game. They are very pivotal to the amount of damage you're seeing both teams deal across to the other.
Look at the ult charge difference. Only God has the Graviton, and Casper's only at 33%.
First, to be fair.
Still doesn't change the fact that there's a massive ult difference, Des, and they're going to use that right away. Bomb over the top, looking for the charge. Shield is there.
He missed.
He's only going to get the pin kill onto Dredro through the Transcendence. Aafox still can hold on to his own. They've got an Earth Shatter as well. Morning Stars don't have much of a response, and I think they've identified that.
Absolutely. Now the question becomes, how long can Angry Titans keep on cycling these ultimates around? They've got 3 online. Looking now probably towards Urki to get a shield bash down into that Earth Shatter out of Lawsish to close out this next fight. For Dredro, keep an eye on where he is as well, because if he can save that sound barrier and come out when his team gets caught, that's the best time.
Oh, what a shatter off the back of a fantastic team-based play for Angry Titans. And Morning Stars again, left with no response, crippled, dragging themselves back to the spawn room.
I literally said it as it happened. Urki comes in with the flying Brigitte, I like to call it, off screen, stuns the main tank as everyone's trying to rotate. The thing is, Dredro is in the mix of the whole team. They're trying to speed boost them, I think, off to the backside. Instead, wasn't anywhere to be seen with that sound barrier. Team gets wiped out. Very clean and clinical from Angry Titans. And now Only God has got his ult back online again. This is where you get into that cycle of combos coming out of either side.
It's starting to feel very much like our first series, Des. We're getting down to the wire a bit on Morning Stars offense. They do have ults online. It's going to be on Angry Titans to deflect this and then go for the full hold. Now Zasa moving forward. He's got that Earth Shadow ready to go. And
no,
like you said, Des, Casper's going to throw out that grab, and it was Eaten, Des. Don't second guess yourself. That's exactly what Morning Stars are doing. They're going to throw the Transcendence, keep themselves going. Urki found Leaf, and the sound barriers have been traded, but Morning Stars are so far behind in the HP bars. Casper's being deflected. There's 1 minute left, Des, and I'm fairly certain Morning Stars can get some ults online to mount some kind of attack.
They've used everything there as well. They were building these ults for an attack like this, and Morning Stars still fail to get any ground or headway on towards the point. They're going to be feeling so drained right now, not just in terms of ultimate bars, but in motivation as well, knowing you've probably got one fight left to make this work. Angry Titans sat on 2 huge tank ultimates. Yes, there are no support ultimates online. They don't care right now because they can wipe them out again if they play this right.
Armor pack was just used on Casper to get him up to HP. I think it's going to be on cooldown enough in time. Keeping an eye on the Brigittes here because the Earth Shatter is ready for Lolsish.
Flyby again, I'm ready.
Gonna need the combo. He's looking for it. He's waiting. He wants to bait them in and stretch that as long as possible. Gonna go for the grab first on the corner. Still alive. Got the shield bash. There's the self-destruct from Elliot to take out Malzasa. And with 15 seconds remaining, I see no way of Morningstar's taking this point.
Oh, Casper was so early with those barriers as well. He popped them as he walked round the corner. And as soon as on the side of Angry Titans, you see those barriers go down, and you're like, oh, guys, free ultimates. They drop them down. They wipe them out. No response from Morningstars for now. It feels like they are going to force it extra off with that trance.
With the trance, they get on the point. Dragon Lady being kept alive. Urki has gone down already. They're sitting on ultimates. A-Fox is going to have to use that Transcendence to level it back out. Morningstars might have been able to do it at the last hurdle. Shatter will break the fight up. Morningstars starting to lose members again. And I think Angry Titans have regained control here. Dragon Lady being fragged off from the side. A-Fox looking for it as the grab will pull them all together. Sound Barrier will only do so much. Woo! No one can touch A-Fox, and he's giving Morningstars these hands. The Graviton Surge pulls them onto the point. But unfortunately, that's a full hold for Angry Titans.
Oh dear, oh dear. What can we say? Morningstars. I don't know what's happening, guys. Some of these barriers are coming out at really bad times. Getting members picked off on the way in is not the way to play this one out. Angry Titans are just playing the game they've always played, just waiting for the enemy team to put themselves in an awkward spot. And Urki, again, a couple of times in that round, we saw some fantastic bashes coming out. That second one that we saw where he ran straight through, caught him out with the shatter off the back of it. Beautiful play. Angry Titans playing it all right, and even when they lost Urki in that one, Lolsh is saying, I don't need my Brigitte for this one. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to bide my time. I'm not going to panic, which is what they did in the third map yesterday, but we're seeing them remain composed today, which shows that transformation of motivation and composure overnight.
Nice alliteration there. Nice rhyme.
Thank you.
Spitting some bars. Anyway, on for this
I
one.
shan't try.
Very likely we see Angry Titans go into our first break of the series with that 2-0 lead. It's very difficult for a team to hold 4 minutes, even 33% of the point. That's all Angry Titans need here to take away the W. At best, Morningstars can hope for a draw here.
It's a tough one. You could say there'll be some morning scars tomorrow when they wake up from the brutal beating they're having right now from Angry Titans.
I praise you about your wordplay now. You can stop, right?
The thing is about this, we said it at the start of the last round as well. For Angry Titans here, they've got 4 minutes. They can scout out what Morningstars are doing, then come out with a counter comp. They can go triple DPS if they want to. We can even go as exotic as we saw Windstrike go yesterday and bring out the quad DPS. They've got so much time to play with, or they can just do what Morningstars tried to do and didn't manage to execute last time round, is just build up 6 ultimates and go for the flat-out wipe.
Holding some forward positions for now. Might be for information. I think it's just for the Flame Strike. They're going to pull back to the Arch. Hopefully, they can get themselves some safety because any mistakes here by Morningstars will result in a loss of this map and put them at match point. There's only 1 map remaining between them and the finals.
At least this time around they're playing it pretty safe, going for the high ground. Morningstar's always trying to push down to the main road last time, whereas now they want the high ground, they want to get the scout, they want to block away this corner. That's why we saw so many issues come through, where Angry Titans made a really good defense last time, and up here, they can just pick away. Casper already going very low.
Going low indeed, building up some ult charge. They're now going to commit to the fight, and they're onto the back line immediately. Unfortunately, Exo-Wrath left out to the wind. Only God going to take it off. The frags are coming in thick and fast. They think it's all over. It is now.
Morningstar split themselves. So that was the biggest problem. Angry Titans, I thought, would just dive straight into the backline of 6, but they didn't. They split. They sent 1 or 2 down to the backline, melted out the supports who were there on their own, unprotected, whilst the others duked it down in the front line with the tanks. And ultimately, well, if Morningstars aren't protecting their supports, then who's going to heal you guys? You're going to lose that fight.
Angry Titans forced themselves over to match point. We're getting the case of deja vu from earlier on in the day. Dez, it's unfortunate to see such a dominant team being brought to heel by another dominant force.
It's always going to happen. One force is going to be stronger than another. There's no such thing as an unstoppable force, it feels like, in this series. But Angry Titans, admittedly, looking pretty unstoppable. Barely losing any fights so far.
Well, it's always darkest before the dawn, so there's plenty of comeback potential for Morningstars. We're going to throw it over to our analysts and give you their take.